Hello everyone, Bridget Casey here, and I'm so excited to welcome you to the October 2024 release video hop for Altenew. Here we have a picture of the first project I created using this amazing release, and I couldn't stop at one, so we have a quick and simple card as well that we've created, which takes really no time at all. So the first thing we're going to use today is the Zero Waste Autumn Leaves die. I'm so excited about this die. So many ideas I have to use this product going forward. Definitely love autumn and leaves. Always love some leaves. Those will be great for lots of projects throughout the year. And then we have the Pumpkin Patch suite of products. We're going to use that stamp, and we're going to use the stencil, and we're going to use the die set. We do not use the 3D embossing folder, but there is one, and it does match to the stamp set and the stencil. So we are going to use that die set there. You can see I have an extra few sentiments tucked in there. We're going to start with stencil number 1. I'm getting that aligned onto my ultra sticky mat and picking out the ink colors I'm going to use. We're going to begin with Tangerine Dream. I'm using a number 10 micro blending brush. For these, you probably could have used your mini blending tool, but I really like the control that I have and the ability to add color with the micro blending brushes. You'll see me use both sizes, the 10 and the 7 today. We're going to switch over now and we're going to go with a Cherry Sweet. I love this color combination for many purposes, but for me, living in the state of Maine, we have so many beautiful colors in fall, and orange, pink, green, reds, yellows. We even have some kind of pretty brown and some, like bamboo colored, our bamboo, the Altenew color bamboo colored leaves. So I wanted to have that come through in my project today. I wanted this to be a Maine fall card. So I thought my pumpkins would be fun being colored this way. And I have heat embossed my pumpkins. That will come into play in a minute, but for now we're just moving through the stencils, and as I move through the stencils, we're on stencil number 2 now, I'm just adding the same color combination, the Tangerine Dream, the Cherry Sweet, and then the Tickled Pink, finishing for the stems with the Mocha and Espresso. Sometimes if it's smaller stems, I'll just use the Espresso, but you can see the colors posted on the screen as we're moving through. So I hope you take this set when you get it home and look at your pumpkins and see what colors you might want to combine. The other set I was thinking about using, which I think would look absolutely fabulous, is the new Sun-Kissed Delights, and possibly paired with the Blushberry Bliss. I love to put those together. Something about oranges and pinks together makes my heart so happy. So that would be another color combo. So now we're moving to stencil number 3, and we'll get that aligned. I am using a piece of satin masking tape, very well loved piece, to hold my stencil into place because my cardstock is 6x6 as well as my stencil. So the sticky mat will hold the paper in place. I just have to be able to hold that stencil in place as well. So we're going to get our Cherry Sweet on there. Now there are some areas where on the pumpkin on the far left at about 9 o'clock, you can see that it's really got a detail layer. I'm going to go on that with Tickled Pink. So I really, on those detailed layers when they come up on the pumpkins, I've really gone ahead and layered on that Tickled Pink to get that beautiful, beautiful effect that the Tickled Pink has on the Cherry Sweet and Tangerine Dream. Both of them look beautiful with the Tickled Pink. So you can imagine using them as a trio is just fabulous. So now we're going to move to stencil number 4 and get this into place. And again, we're just starting with that same color combo and moving through. And I realized it kind of made more sense if I just kept the inks open and was going through them as opposed to continuously opening them, closing them. Seemed a little silly at some point. So going through and adding my Cherry Sweet onto the pumpkins. I love having this suite of products. It gives so many options. So, right, you can stamp it and you can color it with your watercolors, with your artist markers, with your colored pencils, with your gouache, watercolor tubes, really anything you can think of. for coloring. And I believe we are now on stencil number 5. I've lost count as I'm chatting with you, so I think we're on stencil number 5 here. And you know, so that's the great thing about an outline image, right? And the embossing folder as well. It leaves so many opportunities for so many different coloring mediums. So I love that we get the stencil set, the embossing, and the stamp. And then to round it out, we get that beautiful die set to cut those gorgeous sentiments. And finally, we have stencil number 6. Yes, we're finally on stencil number 6. Just double checking. I was reading the number in the top left hand of the stencil. So I'm finishing up with the 6th stencil, which will finish the coloring of my pumpkins. And finish off with tickled pink. And sorry for the little noise in the background. I have a Dexy joining me while I am filming here. As you know, it is a cat-friendly work environment. So now I'm taking my fine blade scissors, and this is where, remember I told you it would come into play about me doing the clear heat embossing. I stamped with obsidian pigment ink, and then I clear heat emboss. And that comes into play because now I'm trimming out the pumpkins that I want. I'm choosing which pumpkins I like and I'm trimming them out. I am looking at their placement in the setup of the image, so I get some nicely trimmed pumpkins. Now you can also, hide them behind each other, but this is another great way to get more mileage out of this stamp set. You can trim these apart and you can create your own beautiful arrangements. Again, you can pair them up with the autumn leaves, or you can pair them up with other products from this fabulous release or products that you have in your stash. Because remember, Altenew means old and new. So it's great to put those old and new things together. These fine blade scissors work fabulous, and I hope all my dear friends are so proud of me for fussy cutting. I'm not a big fussy cutter, but I really, really had this image of a project in mind, and this was the way to get there. So I had to embrace the fussy cutting, and I do want to be more like my fussy cutting hero, Lydia Evans. She makes it look so simple and so easy, and I want to be Lydia someday and have her fussy cutting skills. Now I'm taking an artist marker in jet black and I'm going around the corners of the pumpkins, which hides a multitude of sins. Again, why the clear heat embossing after stamping with obsidian is very key here, because it gives not only that line to fussy cut and helps because you have that embossed line, but it also helps hide it at this stage if your cutting was less than perfect. Now I did stick the zero waste die onto some press and seal after I cut it out of Hammermill 80-pound white cardstock, and now I'm just choosing elements that I want to add to this. I didn't know which direction I was kind of going to go when I was cutting this stuff out, but I obviously at this point have a direction, so I chose the pieces that I wanted. The only thing that doesn't make it on the card is that big maple leaf at the top, which I love, so I'm kind of sad it did not make it on there. So I'm going to go, and you see me adding Let Us Celebrate to where it would be darkest on the leaves. I'm going to come in with a lemonade stand in just a minute to round out these leaves and give them that beautiful, beautiful fall appearance, which is just lovely. It is, for one reason, my favorite season in the state of Maine. I'm very sad because I know what's coming behind it. It's snow and ice and cold. But that does as well have a place in my heart. I've lived in Maine my whole life, so I enjoy the cold to a certain extent. Scared of the ice, scared of falling down on it. But so I really do love fall though, because there's so many beautiful colors and so much inspiration in the world around me. So I am so grateful for the beautiful fall and the beautiful seasons we do have. So you can see I'm just adding colors. I'm trying to add 2 colors to each of them. And then now we're going to get going. I've got my glue tape from Altenew, and I'm using it with my tweezers, in conjunction with tweezers, to get my layout going. So those branches, I did end up using espresso on those. I think they were yellow last we left them. And I did add a little espresso to the yellow leaves you can see here. It just gave them kind of a golden hue, which was really pretty. I also had cut this out of brushed gold cardstock, so I decided to add a couple elements of gold into my arrangement just to give it that wowza factor. We all want the wowza factor, right? Wowza. All right, so I am, just layering up leaves in positions I think that they look nice, kind of making sure my sentiment's going to fit, and I put it down because I didn't want to not have enough room for my sentiment. I even cut this into a little flag banner, which I was so proud because I don't do that either. I don't do that well, probably because I don't do it often. So I was so proud. And this card already has a home. It's going to a very, very dear friend who loves pumpkins and who is just an amazing friend. So I had so much fun making this card with her in mind, and it'll be so fun to pop it in the mail using one of Altenew's beautiful, beautiful colored envelopes that will coordinate perfectly with my card. So I love that Altenew thinks of us from the beginning to the end in making cards. So there are also some envelope stickers I have that I can put on there too. And Emery Casey, of course, had to make an appearance. So that was the end of that card. So now we have some vellum, and I blended Tangerine Dream, Cherry Sweet, and Tickled Pink. I'm now going to adhere it to the A2 panel that I cut from Brush Gold cardstock. That's where I got my gold pieces that I used on my last card. So I'm just adding some adhesive here. It would have been very smart of me to use either the ultra sticky tape or the double-sided adhesive sheets, but that's okay. I made it work, and that's what we crafters do, right? So I did put the side up that I had done the ink blending on because it was so vibrant, but these are my favorite colors of fall, so I wanted to include them on a card and just make sure I had Maine represented and my passion for this color combo. So just so pretty. And then a simple sentiment from the Pumpkin Patch stamp set, and it's a finished card. And here are the cards. So there is the warm hugs, and on this card here with the leaves and the pumpkins, I did add 3 Sicilian Amber gem sparkles there. You can see them right there. I hope this video was helpful in checking out the October 2024 release. It was so much fun to create these beautiful projects for you. And we can't wait to see what happens when you get these products into your house and you make your beautiful projects. Don't forget, make sure to enter. There is a giveaway going on right now, up to $300 in prizes for hopping along with all of us that are hopping. So make sure to comment for a chance to win. And thank you so much for watching and joining me. Until next time, my crafty friends, happy crafting.